everybody, and welcome to T-Box Talk, episode 18, the Nicky Shanks send-off. My name is Andrew, and today I'm going to be joined by Josh, Will, and finally dressed to impress, Nicky Shanks in his final episode.
Shanks is showing out right now for the final
I wasn't
episode.
playing any games today. For all you guys listening at home and watching on YouTube, I knew that I needed to bring the boom today.
That was your best stand-up joke yet, right there.
Well, it's going to be better than what I have later because that shit is not funny.
Oh, no. All right. Well, today on the pod, we're going to be doing some weekend roundup, some golf news, including Will Zalatoris, tales from the golf course, our stand-up session, and then we will say goodbye to Nicky Shanks. This is going to be debuting on Thursday, which means that will pretty much be Nick's last day. I think we've got a little special thing planned for Friday. But other than that, let's get into it, boys. The weekend. Shanks, kick it to you first.
Oh, I had a great weekend. I got out of the house on Friday. I made a big oopsie on Friday to start my weekend, man. We have some products coming down the pipe, which we want to do some testing on. You know, that was the whole point of us going to the golf course and, you know, getting out and testing. And I left said products at my house.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So that was a great way to start my weekend. I was
who saved your ass?
Oh, can I get there, please?
Go ahead.
Bertha. Jeez, man. Colucci, thankfully, came to the rescue and brought some extra stuff from the office for us to test on the course and really saved my backside.
Interestingly enough, it actually wasn't even the ball that I wanted to use.
What, the three?
I wanted to test the Serlin ball, which was supposed to be the further hitting ball. But
well, yeah, that means I'm still in the doghouse, but it's all right because
It's better than nothing.
people make mistakes.
But then didn't you and Will have a pool date after?
We did.
wait,
Yeah.
you got to say what happened before
Or are we going
you.
to save that for
Before
the
what?
tails?
No, that would be tails.
There's part of a tail in the...
Yeah.
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 We'll save that.
Okay, so you're saving it from
We'll
tail.
save that part of the
Yeah,
run.
but
Okay.
Yeah.
Following my Friday night, Willie and I sat by the pool,
Had a couple drinks.
killed some brews.
Had a couple talks.
Yeah, a little glizzy.
You brought in the whole... whoa. We better say glizzy cobblers.
Oh, yeah, we killed some glizzies, all right? I mean,
there was a lot of
it was a Friday
glizzies,
afternoon.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fun day. When you texted that you guys were doing that, I'm not going to lie, I was pretty damn jealous.
Why, you should have come.
I had a dinner I had to go to.
Yeah, Nick and I slugged a couple drinks at the course. We actually probably stayed for like another
hour
and a half at Melody Hill. And that's where our tale from the golf course comes from. So if we hadn't stayed, we wouldn't have a great story for you guys. But
And that will come in due time.
Yeah.
and then and then after we just ate some hamburgers, ate some hot dogs, chilled with Nick's parents, got to know Nick a little bit better, his parents a little bit better.
Yeah, I floated in the
Even
pool.
Nick's mom gives him shit about not getting out of the house. So
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I told her that you guys gave me shit, and she was like, well, you got to leave. All you do is go to work and then come home.
Did you see Nick's cave at all?
I didn't see the cave, no,
No.
because Nick's brother was sleeping when we were there.
Yeah.
So
Here's the question is, like, you don't watch movies, you don't play video games, but you don't go out. So what are you, just seshing 9 hours of TikTok a day?
Do you think that these muscles come from sitting there? Or what? Do you think they're fake implants? That's understandable.
What
'cause
do you
they're so
weigh?
big. Like 150 pounds, soaking wet.
Oh,
I think you're just overselling yourself a
I
little
think you're
bit.
right, like 145.
yeah.
Probably like closer to like 143.
Yeah, you walked that back pretty quick there.
Yeah, 150. Next
Will
week.
had a little surprise party for your mother.
yeah, my mom's. Well, it's not my mom's birthday until the 30th, but we had some family that was already visiting from New York, and Marissa and I went and surprised them with some food and had a little get together, small gathering, 8 to 10 people. And it was fun. I basically played like 6 hours of cornhole on Saturday and had a couple drinks, was in bed by 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
Are you good at cornhole?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but we're playing on like a little plastic travel set. So it's like, is that real cornhole? Some would argue no. Some would argue yes. But yeah, I'm definitely a connoisseur of the cornhole.
I'm pretty bad. Whenever I play cornhole, nobody ever wants to be on my team because they know all my friends know that I suck at cornhole. but I keep trying my hardest. That and
That's all that
There's
matters.
a simple solution. Just get better.
you know
That
what?
is a good point.
You know what other game I'm so bad at because I can't throw the freaking frisbee is
Golf?
can jam.
Well.
Oh, fuck you.
The thing is, you got like I think with even those games, there's a form to it. Like when you watch the
You're
pros
pretty
do
good
it,
at cornhole.
You know why? I saw a pro game played one time, and I saw that they don't throw a bag like flat. They spin it a little.
Yeah,
bit.
they go like
I
that.
They
spin it.
toss it like as if you were like it's almost like this.
Like a frisbee. Like you're carrying a
yes.
plate and then you frisbee it.
Yes, exactly. And
That's how I
that's
throw
that's
it.
how you get to fly where you want to go and also land the way you want to land. That's why the either side, one being like the soft hit and then one being the slide, is like huge.
So I got a fun little cornhole fact that I learned over the weekend too. Do you guys know Mike the Situation from
Yeah, of course.
Jersey
Yes,
Shore?
yes.
Love him.
He is now a professional cornhole player,
No, he's not.
and I'm pretty sure he just won like the national championship. I'm not fucking you. You
That's
literally
awesome.
look this shit up.
He's still
yeah.
trying to
That's
evade
actually
those
great.
taxes, man. That's
I was
why.
like,
Hey,
good-
he did his time.
Yeah,
for
he
that.
did
He
his
did his
time.
time, Shanks. Take
I-
it easy.
I
Sorry,
mean,
I
at
didn't
least
know we
for
had a
me,
freaking
Mike the
brigade
Situation
over
is a
here.
friend of the pod, a friend of me on the pod. He's a good guy, I think. He did his time.
I like Mike, dude. I used to grow up. I watched I don't think I ever missed an episode of Jersey.
No, I watched it like less than a year ago.
Which one did you watch?
I watched every single season from start to finish.
Oh, dude,
The original Jersey Shore, not like the family vacations
Right.
or
No,
all the
yeah,
bullshit
that's
ones they're
bullshit,
doing
that's
now
bullshit.
that are like super
I mean,
staged
dude,
and stuff.
it's bullshit, but it's also still fucking crazy.
Yeah, and it's all.
In that one, Ronnie is like about to get married to a girl and goes out to the club on family vacation and blatantly cheats on her like 6 times throughout the course of like the 2-week stay. And she just like, it's just him and her
turns
just
out-
pitching.
yeah,
He's
it's-
got a
it's
kid on the
fucked
way.
up. Yeah,
He had a kid on the
No,
way.
not a fan of Ronnie. Not a fan
No,
of
he's,
Ronnie.
I mean,
no,
he's
no.
horrible, but he is
What is
fucking
going
kind of
on?
hilarious.
And Paulie D's from Johnson, Rhode Island.
Yes,
so.
he is.
He DJ'd
Rhode
one of my
Island
5th grade
represent.
birthday parties.
No, he did not.
Yeah, one of the kids in my class was his cousin, so we got the hookup.
It wasn't Mikey Bazooka, was it?
No.
Mikey Bazooka.
Hey, Mikey
was
Bazooka.
was it like before he was big time?
Yeah, like it was years ago. It was probly right when they were going to start.
So it was like
filming.
2005, 2010. When was
Probably
fifth
like
grade?
07.
07.
I was like
Ah,
probably
that's-
Yeah,
7, right?
Jersey Shore
Yeah.
wasn't even out yet.
But
at that time.
anyways, off the Jersey Shore, what did you do, Colucci?
I had a crawfish boil on Saturday.
Crawfish boil.
Boy, get him some crawfish and get him good.
Crawfish boil. Let's hear about that, Colucci.
All right, so my friend ordered 10 pounds of crawfish from Louisiana, and he got them shipped up here.
That's fire.
And we had a whole crawfish boil inside of his Southie apartment. It wasn't even like we
Very
had.
authentic.
It wasn't
Yeah.
even like we had a yard to do it in. We cooked all the crawfish in his apartment, and we brought it up to the roof, and we took over the roof.
Oh, that's so
His
funny.
apartment
Crawfish.
must smell like dog
Oh,
water.
dude, so the only reason he did it, his wife is out of town for a couple of days on a bachelorette party. So he's like, boys, we're doing the crawfish boil this weekend. So,
That's insane.
So we did the crawfish boil, and I gotta say, it tasted great. We did great seasoning, but crawfish. Sorry to all my friends in the South, but crawfish is too much work for too little food. Like you have to break it open and stuff, and I just don't know how to do it, I guess. And like I was getting such little amounts of meat out of every time I had to break it open and like do
The
all this
Crawfish
thing.
King would fucking be, I mean, he would be sliding you down right now.
Yeah,
dude.
they'd be. There's a whole like community of TikTok videos of just people doing these awesome crawfish boils.
Well, there's the Crawfish King.
I don't know who that is.
He literally is this guy.
Talking
who,
about
like,
stale cracker.
yeah, I think so.
He's like guy on TikTok.
He's the guy on TikTok who like has the long white hair.
that's
he
stale
looks
cracker.
like Joe Dirt kind of, but he's a little bit thicker. And he started a crawfish business off of his TikTok crawfish videos.
That's sick.
And it was just him taking these massive pots of fucking shit and throwing a bunch of crawfish in there with lemon and the way,
Yeah.
and then he slugs beers as he does it. And he has like a, you know, like when they have shotgun shells strapped to their chest, like Rambo or whatever. He does that with beers. So he fucking takes a shell crack Crawfish King.
He's got
Does
that
he-
classic accent too. He's like, "Oh yeah, dude."
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, he got that so right.
Does
Well,
he do the thing where he like dumps all the crawfish out on
Does
the
it.
table?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the table. He does it into a pot and then he drains it, I think.
But
And
like they do some cool presentation.
the crawfish boil.
He's got like his own like massive handmade pots that are like the size of this fucking table. And
Yeah,
he does
yeah.
like 60-person parties and shit, like
yeah.
boils. Like
he's
you were
got a
talking
whole,
about.
our
a
invite?
whole
What the
business
hell?
now. Yeah. He's
But the crawfish boil, in the middle of Boston was a raving success. It was just a lot of fun. It was just vibes.
That's cool.
I think we had some potatoes in there, some corn.
Gotta
we
have
had
potatoes.
This southern seasoning. We had it was Slap Your Mama seasoning.
I was just gonna ask if you could use Slap Your Mama.
It was Slap Your Mama seasoning. It was really good.
That's
but
nice.
It was fucking awesome.
I love my mom. I don't want to.
And then that was it. That was pretty much my entire weekend. I spent the entire Sunday in the cave watching movies. I watched Ocean's 11 for the first time. Really good movie. But I'm like way behind the 8 ball on that one. So I'm going to kick it to Josh for hopefully a more interesting weekend.
I mean, honestly, like I did a lot of my weekend was working, trying to build the media website. But here's the cool thing is that in between, I don't know what happened recently, and I know we're not going to do what are we watching today, so I'm going to use my segment on that. Dude, some of the movies that just released are insane. Like insane. Some of the movies and shows, I should say.
Hit me with something.
All right, so the top tier, the top dog that I need everybody to go watch if you can handle dark shit is Sandman. Mm-hmm. The Sandman was insane, dude. I couldn't believe that under the radar this thing was written by one of the best. I think he's like the top 5 fantasy writers in the world, and he wrote this whole concept about I don't even want to try to explain it. It's fantasy based, but it's like he's the king of dreams, and like all the other realms are like it would be like despair, destiny.
It's the 7 deadly sins.
No, it's not the 7 deadly sins. It's because it kind of took influence from Dante's Inferno a little bit, which is like a lot of
7 layers of hell. Yeah.
But like he goes into hell or whatever. So there's like Lucifer, and there's a lot of, they even do like Cain and Abel. Or it's you got to watch it. It's impossible for me to explain.
Literally, I've heard this from about 10 people over the weekend.
Dude, it's just like it literally is probably the most
trending all over Netflix.
I mean, when I watched it, it just like. It blends because it's so real to your perspective of reality. It fucks with your head a little bit, and there's some dark parts in it. So if you don't like dark shit, don't watch it. And then I'm only gonna say one other movie, but I watched it last night. It was the new vampire movie with Jamie
Foxx. I was about to
and
watch it.
Also, who's in it is oh shit, I'm forgetting his name right now. He's James Franco's brother.
Charlie Franco.
I don't know why I'm blanking on his name either.
I don't know why either. But anyways,
Dave Franco.
Dave
yes,
Franco.
there you go.
So
Dave.
Yeah, your father's name. So that's like.
There's a lot of Daves out there. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, so that movie was both funny and entertaining.
The Day Shift.
The Day Shift. It was a very good movie. Highly recommend. I would give Sandman. I would give like easily a 9.4.
Whoa.
I mean, this was one of the probably the most creative show made since like the Lord of the Rings type era. But go watch it.
Did you watch Prey, the new Predator movie?
I did watch it. Oh yeah,
what
that's
did you
true.
think?
That's why I didn't even bring it into the discussion.
You didn't like it?
It's not that I didn't like it. I just like
Underwhelmed.
I keep
so
hearing,
underwhelmed.
I'm
yeah.
hearing polarizing takes on it. People either like really liking it or don't like it at all.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you like about it? You know what I mean?
I just like the sick Predator kills.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I just watched that movie for the Predator.
But even that Predator was just like pathetic, dude. He's like taking.
Well, he's like one of the first. I mean, the movie takes place in 1717, so like.
That's when I was born.
Let's say 20 years ago.
So maybe like the same Predator from that movie is not the same Predator from the original.
I know,
Predator,
but that's the point.
because
it's
that's
just,
like 200 years
yeah,
later.
but dude, like
so
right,
maybe they
I
evolved.
can buy into Rambo taking on Predator. A bunch of people running around with sticks. I can't. I'm sorry, but let's not get into.
I don't want to
Nonetheless.
hijack it, but I saw Nope last week.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
I'm not going to divulge, but I will say I would give it a 9.1. I was another Jordan Peele knocked that out of the
Masterpiece.
park. And I'm not like a big like alien like
He's
type
so messed up
UFO
in
guy,
the
but
head,
like
though.
the storyline and the pacing was really good. And for a 2.5 hour movie, it felt like an hour and a half. And then I watched The Black Phone last night, the new Ethan Hawke scary movie.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Not as scary as I thought it would be. Not as good as I thought it would be, but I would still recommend anyone going to watch it because it was creepy and it's not an original concept, but they had some parts of the movie that were definitely original to what they were trying to
I'm
accomplish.
dying to see Nope. I am dying to see Nope. I
Go
wanna
see it in the
that
theater.
So bad.
Yeah.
Really? Is it a theater movie?
Go see it in the theater. Yeah.
Do it.
Was it scary? Am I gonna get nightmares?
Nightmare.
I wouldn't say it's like a nightmare movie. Nightmare. But it was definitely kind of like bone chilling.
Okay.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. I also watched Flight with Denzel Washington for the first time. Such a good movie. But
You got to start bringing up movies that are relevant.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about movies that came out in like 2010.
yeah, I know. No, I know.
He likes that.
I still had parental controls on my TV at home when these movies came out. I couldn't watch them.
Listen, I was in the cave on Sunday. I just went down
but what
the
about all
rabbit
the
hole.
new movies? Why are you watching those movies when Sandman?
Well, I'm waiting for them to go on Soap Today.
They're on Netflix. What do you need?
Oh, because I don't want to watch. Like, Sandman's a show. I didn't want to watch a show.
Okay, what about Gray Man? What about Last?
Gray Man, I have keep dropping the ball on.
Yeah, you gotta watch
haven't
Gray
watched
Man
it
too.
Because again, more and more people keep telling me every day, "Oh, you gotta watch Gray Man."
Thing is, I know what streaming platforms he has. He has everything. Why is he going back in time to 2001 to watch Ocean's 11? He could be watching Brandon.
Because I want to watch Ocean's 11.
He's our guy. That's our guy right there.
Colucci.
All right, let's segue into some golf news. Will Zalatoris wins the St. Jude's FedEx Cup tournament. It was an awesome playoff hole. Nick, I know you watched it live. I was able to catch the highlights of it. It was unbelievable.
It was bonkers, man. Me and my dad sat there. It was his birthday yesterday. Shout out, Dad. And he was just jumping out of his easy chair. Like,
Really?
It was the craziest thing he's ever seen. We rewinded shots, watched them again. For those of you who haven't seen it, you need to go see it because there's
Especially the third hole
yeah,
of the playoff.
I mean, there's 3 holes and something crazy happened. Like, you would think it was like a club championship the way that they were hitting it for some shots. Like, they were hitting it in the woods. They were hitting it in the water. Like,
The adrenaline was.
the nerves.
Yeah.
even.
On that third playoff hole with Will Zalatoris, he bounced. I think he must have bounced off the rock wall 5 times, and it somehow just
And it
stayed
stayed,
there.
and it didn't go in the water.
What saved him was that he hit the edge of the grass first. So there was
Yes.
no massive bounce. He didn't land directly on the rock, but the ball like settled like a little pinball.
Yes, and then the other guy hit it in the same exact location.
and it went in the water.
Right.
He didn't hit the grass.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he
He
did.
did?
He bounced grass and then, like, missed the rock is the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Honestly, they could have been better off if they hit the top of the rock. It would have probably bounced up towards the green.
Well, the thing is, Will still took the
drop.
Zalatoris still took the drop anyways, because on the other guy went to hit his drop shot, put it in the bunker. So then Zalatoris was like, "Oh, okay, I don't have to try to wedge this out
Right.
of here. I can just take a drop."
And all he had to do was put it within putting distance and make
It
the
was
putt.
over.
And it was interesting how, like, the rules of golf were, like, in play because technically this other kid, Sepp Straka, had hit in the water, off the drop zone, into the trap, out of the trap, onto the green before Will even decided to take a drop. Because technically Will was closer to the
I
hole.
was a little
Confused,
interested about
right.
that.
And that, like, affected his decision because if Will had said, okay, we're just both going to go back to the drop zone, he would have tried to take advantage of it, maybe tried to make a play, but he knew that Sepp was, like, out of it. So all he had to do was get up and down from, like, 95 yards, and he won,
Yeah.
and he ended up doing it.
Because his worry hitting from that lie on the
Right.
rocks was that the ball was just going to go directly backwards into the water,
Yeah.
which
Would've
was smart
fucked him.
because there was a massive lip where that ball was lodged.
Yeah, crazy. Finally, though, he won, man. A lot of second places. He won, I read something like $6.7 million this year on tour without a win.
He was the highest ranked golfer without a win.
Right. And now he's jumped up to first in the FedEx playoff. So
Yeah.
So what I was actually wondering, and I feel like I read this, and maybe I'm wrong, but did Will Zalatoris fire his caddy, like very recently?
I heard that, but it looked like the same dude.
Because that would be kind of
Let's
not
see.
fucked, but like you fire your caddy before the FedEx, the St. Jude Championship, and then you get a new caddy, and then you win your first major title without that caddy that you just fired. That was apparently your best friend. I don't know
is
if
it on the caddy though.
I don't know if no,
Is it
I
on
don't.
the caddy?
I don't know. I was just saying that would like if I was the caddy that got fired, I'd feel like a bag of shit.
Yeah, I would.
You're
That's what I'm
like his
saying.
lifetime caddy,
Yeah.
and then you get fired, and then you win literally the next event with a new caddy.
His brand new caddy this week, Joel Stock. So he has one tournament on the bag and 1 win. So
So yeah, there you go.
That's fucked.
his quote was, "It was just getting a little bit unhealthy for the both of us." So he wanted to preserve their friendship over their professional relationship. So
All right, so it wasn't misinformation that I read.
no, good job.
My question is, I don't know if you guys saw the Cam Smith penalty.
Yeah.
And so there's kind of like this, everyone's pretty much on the same page from what I read on Golf Digest, but should there almost be retroactive penalties, or should there be like a cutoff when the round is over that a score can't be unchangeable?
That's what I was going to say also, because it brings into play another
Can you
thing.
explain to me why he got the 2-stroke penalty, though?
Yeah.
I missed
Go
this.
ahead, Nick.
Okay, so what it was he hit into a hazard, and he took a drop, but the angle that it was at, he didn't have a big area to drop, and where he played the ball from after the drop was still touching the line of the hazard. So in a sense, he didn't take full relief, and you're required, you need to take full relief when taking a drop.
Okay.
But
So-
the problem is they let it slide when it happened.
Right, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because they gave him a 2-stroke penalty the next day, right?
Which
Yes.
also doesn't make sense, because technically there's another penalty, which is disqualification for signing an incorrect scorecard.
Right, and so I think the best outlook that I read on it from the guys on Golf Digest was pros don't get mulligans, neither should rules officials.
Yeah.
I don't hate that take.
So once it's done, it's done.
And
the
this
rules
was
official
PGA or LIV?
PGA.
PGA.
Yeah, Cam Smith hasn't go, so that's kind of like that kind of brings me right to what I was going to say. Some people are like, oh, they're going at Cam Smith because all
Right.
the rumors of him going to
Yeah.
live. But Cam Smith is in 3rd place right now in the FedEx playoffs. Could he theoretically win the FedEx season and then just bounce to live?
So Nick, actually, I don't know if you saw this, but Cam Smith withdrew from the BMW championship.
Yeah, because
Today.
of hip displacement.
quote unquote hip displacement.
But he can still win the FedEx Cup if he doesn't play in this tournament. He still could be in contention, whether or not he plays in the BMW.
So I think he's trying to do as little as possible to make as much money as possible before he leaves to go to live.
Yeah, because like it's
But
real.
what would
now it's
incentivize him not to play in that?
he
BMW.
might actually be hurt.
Oh, you think
He
he'd, like-
could
He said
he could
hip
actually be hurt.
displacement.
He could be irritated with the PGA Tour and their rules official. He might feel targeted.
Yeah.
Um,
so that
oh,
that's
like
the
that's
thing.
just only going to hurt. But how does that hurt his chance? Even if he finished last, that's not going to lose him points. Right?
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm just curious. I was curious the motivation there. A lot of people are talking about him.
So I mean, it could be a real injury.
Dude, I still think it's kind of wild that they're bringing his offer. Like, what was he offered?
100 mil.
100 million, yeah.
$100 million for him to go play? Like, is he that big of a name, or is it just
I
like,
think
now he
that's
is.
too low.
oh, really?
I think the 100
I
million
read
is too
somewhere else
low.
that it was like 150 million. I didn't read
It's
it was
I heard 100.
Because I
But
read it was 90, and then I read that it was confirmed that it was 100 million.
Oh,
And I
gotcha.
actually agree to Andrew's point. I still don't think it's enough for Cam Smith.
Yeah.
Someone-
big
I
right
read
now,
some. I
man.
was reading it somewhere online where they were saying something like, the reality is setting in with him. He's made this decision and blah blah blah. And if you think about like $100 million, because it's all kind of staked on this like make believe thing, like it's the word of the Saudis, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the LIV Tour is only one. If you think about it from a startup perspective, like they're basically like a high. It's basically a high, like a big investment startup.
right.
So like 2 years from now, if they don't have the fan base or the revenue, or 5 years from now, if they don't, like,
Right.
what if they can't pay?
But
him?
if those contracts are guaranteed, I mean,
Guaranteed how? though?
Guaranteed by who?
yeah, that's kind of the tricky part.
Yeah, like if like
When you march into Saudi Arabia, like, oh, where's my fucking money,
yeah,
man?
yeah.
Do you think Cam Smith's deal, whatever it is, whatever it may be, is contingent on him finishing his
That's what I was thinking.
the playoffs out on the PGA Tour? 'Cause,
All
like,
he has to do, I believe. No, I don't think it is, but I do think that.
Well, he doesn't have to sign the contract until he's done.
Right. Like none of that is that. But I do think that with Cam Smith, when he does go over, the way that the money is structured, I believe, is like he's not getting a check for $100 million.
No.
I think they get half.
They
right?
I don't even know what the flow is, but I
Your
know that
winnings
there's-
come out of it.
That's what it was.
Yeah, if you win, so like let's say you win a LIV tournament, you get a couple mil for winning. It comes out of the guaranteed money from your contract.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I would just do what Phil Mickelson's doing and just play like crap.
Yeah, so that's the big thing is people are like, okay, well that incentivizes golfers to not care and they don't
Yeah.
really try.
Which is what Tiger was saying.
Yeah, he said it ruined the spirit of the game because if there's guaranteed money, then why are you even trying?
I wouldn't practice. Are you kidding me?
Honestly,
I'd go buy a boat.
Yeah, I mean, why are you even playing to be a champion? I mean, that's how the NBA works. They don't tell you that if you don't get if you don't hit 5 free throws out of 6 free throws in a game, you're going to get paid less or more.
You also don't get paid for the playoffs in the NBA.
I mean, you
get bonuses, but
it all depends on the
messed up.
I mean, yeah, you can get bonuses. You can get bonuses in football, like if he scores a certain number of touchdowns or whatever, or he does this or that. But the reality is that for the majority of players, you have to go out and think that they want to fucking win.
Yeah.
There's no other motivation. It's like Tiger Woods. I could make the argument right now. What motivation does he have to win? On the PGA Tour, off the PGA Tour, that man
he's a competitor.
Guy's a fucking $1 billion man. I mean, he's got more money than some countries. So, like, help me understand, why does he want to win?
I mean, everything's just becoming a big business now. That's the thing. Like, I saw this interview about, it was an NBA player who was saying how he would, towards the end of the season, if they get bonuses, if they have X amount of average playing time above whatever it is, and he said that managers in like upper levels and like the finance office would know what your average is at, and then they'd sub you in and sub you out. So that would count towards your average and drop it below your thing, and you'd miss your like bonus for the year.
Yeah. So that shady shit like that happens all the time, but it's the reverse in the NFL. In the NFL, if you need, like, let's say you need 100 receptions to get a $250,000 bonus, if it's like week 18 and you're in the final game, they'll play you. And
like Tom Brady and Gronk did. I saw that.
Gronk needed to hit a certain bonus, and
$500,000
for like 5 plays in a row, Brady just kept targeting him just to get him his money, and then he got him the money, and Gronk came right out of the game because they were already in the playoffs.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
but
like,
I mean, fuck it, get it.
I mean, he was saying like how they just need to look out for themselves. Like in the NBA, like he'll not fake injury, but like be sick, not play, so then he can assure that his average time won't drop. So then he'll get his bonuses.
I mean, the NBA is tough though. NBA
money.
and NFL are a little tough though, because like nobody's gonna sit here and tell me that Celtics team this past year was playing for the money. I mean, they were playing for the money, but like, dude, they were putting their bodies on the line.
Playing for the city.
Marcus Smart, I saw a hit. I mean, dude, it was a violent showing out of, not that they played well or anything in those final games, but the point I'm trying to,
like, even Rob Williams, the center, tore his meniscus 6 weeks earlier, and he could have easily been like, listen, I'm farming again for this year, I got to protect my body for the future. Exactly. He was like, no, get the surgery done, I'm getting back for the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
And he played
great.
And he was a dog.
He was like by far one of the biggest contributors.
Yeah, I agree with that though.
So I guess my only thing is to say, like, I think that it all depends on, like most things in life, your perspective. Yeah. And Tiger Woods, also remember, he is, if you think for 1 second the PGA Tour hasn't fucking reached out to him and said, we're going to suck you off, Tiger, until the end of time, and you're our guy, you're going to carry us into the future.
That's what they said?
If you don't think that they've given her money or power within their infrastructure to basically be the lead spokesman for the PGA Tour to speak out against LIV Tour, you're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he turned down $800 million, so like,
imagine that, turning down $800 million to do the same exact activity for a different company.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's going to wrap up golf news unless anybody else got anything else going on. I know Scotty Scheffler stepped in Cam Smith's line. Everybody freaked. All the golf Twitter was freaking out. They're like, oh, I can't believe this.
It happens.
Like, oh, yeah, they're either like, fuck Cam Smith or fuck Scotty Scheffler. It was very polarizing because some people are like, oh, dude, go play in the LIV, make your money. And some people are like, fuck the LIV players. So it's Golf Twitter was like very toxic.
It's brutal.
It is so toxic. God forbid anybody who posts their swing in like golf Twitter or golf Instagram. You just get absolutely roasted, dude, by all these random accounts with no names on them. But whatever.
Wait, there was some news about Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler had a crazy situation that happened.
I heard about this with the top 125.
Yeah, and I've been like trying to figure out what happened because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I could fill you in. Just my golf expertise.
All right, let's go.
I'm just kidding. I just bored. I'm on TikTok all the time. So what happened was Ricky was 126th on the money list, which basically it's like the playoffs, like top 125 get their card back and that whole thing. And Bubba Watson, who had signed with the LIV Tour, was in the top 125. So if he gets kicked out, Ricky gets that last spot.
Oh, shit.
But how the PGA Tour structured their kind of agreement is once you participate in a LIV event, you are suspended. So technically, even though Bubba signed his deal, he wasn't suspended yet because he hasn't participated. So he took that spot.
But didn't Ricky
He
Go
got
to the
it.
LIV?
He got in because they had a meeting about it, and they said, okay, Bubba's obviously signed a deal already. He's not coming back. So they kicked him out, and they
I think
let
Fowler's
Ricky in.
fucking crazy for not going to the LIV.
I
thought-
know. He's on his way out, dog.
I thought he did, though.
I thought he did too.
Oh, he did. That's right. No, he is going to the LIV.
Well, that was after all this shit happened, so they went through all that trouble for nothing, I guess.
I mean, dude, the LIV is like a godsend for Ricky Fowler.
No, I
dude.
know. He needs that
He
cash.
can just, yeah, he can just.
Ricky checked out a while
They
ago.
probably
on the
gave him like
PGA Tour.
they probably gave him like $400 to like come over. He was like, yes, yes.
Yeah,
No,
him a
but I
dirt
mean, he's
bike.
still got a big
Yeah.
name. I mean, even though he
He
hasn't
does.
been in contention
I mean,
ever in
yeah.
the last like 5 years, like he's still got that big name.
Dude, he's just a guy. He's kind of like John Daly. A lot of people think John Daly is this like crazy good golfer. Like, I don't really think he's like. He didn't win that much. I mean, what did he get? He has like what,
Yeah.
1 major, 2 majors,
More
one
than
major.
that. But he was competing with Tiger and Phil.
I think
Yeah.
he has 1 major. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. He made the cut at the U.S. Open when it was near us, which is crazy. And he's
Look up
old.
how many majors does?
He's also sponsored by Hooters. Him and his son have a Hooters deal now.
His fucking son. That's great. Yeah.
Oh.
He also owns. You know that he owns Loudmouth Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until recently.
I had a Loudmouth putter grip for 2 years before I knew that John Daly owned Loudmouth.
I have no.
I think I
idea.
literally saw someone with the exact same pants as my putter grip, and I was like,
Wait a second.
what's going on here?
So
Well,
while
he's won
Josh
2.
won 2
PGA
majors.
Championship in 1991 and the Open Championship in 1995.
All right.
He was
the
a
mullet.
he was a player back in the day.
I would
he-
not
he
have
hit a
guessed that. I
mile.
would have thought that he won way more than that.
Yeah, that's the thing
Well-
is like everybody celebrates him like he was in line with Tiger Woods and whatnot. The truth is
It was just his
is
brand.
that yeah, you can just have a good brand in golf. Like Ricky Fowler has they say he's the nicest person on the tour, and he's also like he's the one who set all the trends. You know, the flat brim on the golf course, that was never a thing before Ricky.
The bright colors.
Yeah, the bright orange, partnership with Cobra and
That was like a
whatnot.
motocross,
yeah.
like his motocross background. Though.
Yeah, dude, he's the stash, the fucking how about this, the mullet?
Yeah.
He was the first. Nobody
Yeah.
was rocking a mullet before that. I don't even think Cam Smith was on the tour when he was
No,
rocking
no,
a
no,
mullet.
no way.
So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, JD tweeted at Cam Smith after he won the Open and was like, "Glad to see a mullet back in the winner's circle."
Yeah,
or
JD
something
would be like
that.
the only other mullet
Yeah.
originator.
yeah.
But that's going to wrap up golf news. We're going to go into Tales from the Golf Course. Bringing back this segment, just, if you have a funny story about the golf course, shoot. And Will and Nick have quite the story. I don't know which one of them is going to tell it, though.
Do you want me to tell it? And then you
I
can
think
just
you
jump
deliver
in?
it so majestically.
All right, so this happened at Melody Hill on Friday. Like I said, Josh and Cambio, they stayed for a beer, and then they took off, and Nick and I stayed there for another hour and a half. So if we hadn't stayed, we would have missed this. But Nick and I, what happened was Nick and I both got beers. My big dense self walked over to the table. Don't know how large I am. I knocked over the table. I knocked Nick's beer onto the ground. It exploded everywhere.
And it was like a cannon, like a fizz cannon was like the beer was
It went
spraying
everywhere.
all
It went
over
everywhere.
us.
Fresh
I was
beer.
like,
I lost. My fault. I lost half of it, but I ended up getting Nick another beer.
Yeah.
Not part of the story.
good guy.
But because that beer spilled, it attracted all those wasps. So we moved to the other side of the snack cart area where there were tables and like the bar area, and we sat there for the rest of our time. And we're actually getting ready to leave now, and there's people sitting next to us. There's people sitting to the left of us, and everyone just goes silent. People on the golf course, people like working at the golf course, people sitting next to us. And all of a sudden we look over and a ghost cart is going backwards from where the carts are parked all the way down towards the parking lot. And it's not a large amount of space, probably about 100 feet between where the carts are and the lot, but this thing picks up speed. And we don't know this at the time, but the cart did not have a key in it. So it had been left there by someone. The cart person came over, removed the key, thought they parked it. They didn't. There was no parking brake on. So this cart starts moving Mach 5 down the hill towards the parking lot. It gets through this row of trees. It goes through the only parking space that does not have a car in it. Meanwhile, I'm sitting at a weird angle, so it kind of looked like there was a car in it, so I'm just waiting for a big kaboom. We both were. And so it doesn't, because you obviously see the cart, exit on the other side of where these parked cars are, and now it's on pavement, so it's picking up more speed. And it's probably moving about 30 miles an hour now.
Moving.
It's
I mean,
moving.
there's no governor on it. There's no key in it, so
Yeah.
it can't slow down.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's headed towards this old Buick, this nice white Buick, and everyone's preparing for impact. Like, not even people close to it. And all of a sudden, this bald guy, he's got gray hair, beard, full sprint. This guy's 61 years old, we came to find out. Full sprint down the hill through the parking lot, hops in this cart doing 20, 30 miles an hour, slams on the brake. It comes to a screeching halt about a foot from the Buick. And everyone, people on the tee, 10th tee, 11th tee, whatever, restaurant, everyone is just,
we're just clapping.
Everyone is just clapping and applauding this
unbelievable.
guy. It was hilarious. And so he ends up, he leaves the cart there because there's no key in it. So that's how we found out there was no key in it, because we're like, why the hell would he just leave the cart in the middle of the parking lot?
So was it his cart? Was it his?
No, it wasn't his.
Oh my God.
Just a good
he
Samaritan.
had just came off the golf course, I believe.
Oh my God.
And he was just going to chase the cart.
And he just went off and
Maybe it was his Buick.
Maybe.
It could have been, but he ended up he secured the bag. He stopped the cart. He gets up to the pro shop, the snack bar, and they ended up giving him like 2 sleeves of Pro V1s for like preventing an accident.
That's cool.
Like that computes to the damage
I was
of a
about
car.
to say,
Yeah.
when you said they got 2 Pro V1s, I couldn't grasp how you said it. I was like, I don't think that's enough.
Yeah,
Like,
they
they
just
should-
walked out and handed him like 2 sleeves of Pro V1s, and he looks at him and he goes, "I'm gonna lose these anyways." And then he gets
Yeah.
in his cart and drives away.
They should have given him like free rounds.
Yeah, that's what I was
Free
thinking.
rounds or something.
Yeah, because if that golf cart hit that car, that's hundreds, potentially over $1,000 worth of
Oh,
damage.
100%. Yeah, because if you have to repaint that, then you have to repaint the whole car.
Oh
like,
yeah, it was
that-
going right for the back quarter panel and bumper, and that
The
thing would have
only
taken it off.
only thing I'm gonna say, the only one thing about this story is that if that cart was going 20 or 30 miles an hour, then we've got Usain Bolt on our hands.
I wouldn't say maybe
I wouldn't
15.
say maybe 20. I wouldn't say maybe 30 is an exaggeration, but it was moving. Like
It was moving.
probably 15 to
I mean,
20 miles
He
an
might
hour.
have
No
cut it
joke.
off.
An object. Did he run after it or did he intercept it?
Well, he intercepted it, but he started running before the cart got to like optimal speed. So like he was already down in the parking lot by the time the cart was.
But he had to
was
time that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
It was like a
time it up.
split hair decision. Like he could have just sat there in amazement and watched it like the rest of us.
I don't
But
know
instead
why he would
went
have
out-
taken that risk. I feel like that's stupid as fuck. If he didn't successfully do that and he was in that
He's
cart
hurt.
when that fucking rams into the car, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's, that's an
Or
injury.
if you jump and miss and you just smack
Or,
your
yeah.
bald head on the ground.
Or you miss and the cart runs you over and hits the
How
car.
old was this guy?
61.
That's
Wow.
And he was moving, this dude, for 61.
Now, I have a question.
We have an answer.
Do you think, now, seeing the guy save the cart is an awesome story, right? Do you think everybody who was watching secretly was like, damn, it would be pretty funny if it hit the car?
I not gonna lie, like deep down, I wanted that shit to wreck the car.
I anticipated.
like I wanted some like monster truck, boom, boom.
Yeah,
like
like it would have been very shitty, yes,
Yeah.
for that poor man's or woman's Buick, but it would have been pretty
I
fucking
know,
funny.
I know, and especially like this is gonna sound bad, but when it went through like the open parking spot, I was like, oh man, like
Yeah, that's what
Like,
I'm
I
saying.
wanted
Because
to,
I
like,
thought there was a
cream
car
something.
there. Yeah.
That's wild.
It's
yeah.
like there's
it was
people
I wish
watch
you
those
got a
types of
video of
videos for
that, dude.
failure.
We literally, the guy had stopped the cart, and I look over at Nick, and I'm like, we probably should have like had our phone out ready
Well,
for
it
that.
was
But it
also,
was like
like-
it all happened in like 0.5
Yeah.
seconds.
We were sitting like this, and it happened like here. So I'm like talking to Will, and all of a sudden I
I
see
just like
him.
stare. I'm just,
I see
like,
him. He's
ignoring
like,
Nick.
oh.
Can you imagine
Oh.
that video though? That video would have been fucking viral.
I bet you the course has it on video.
They might.
No way.
Dude,
Well,
that,
they have
that
security
course
cameras.
doesn't have. Do they have them?
I don't think so.
That course is owned by Tri-State. It's like the people who own that course own like 3 other courses in the area.
That course fucking sucks, dude. That was one of the worst courses I've ever played.
I disagree only because out of maybe the 5 or 6 courses I've played in the last 2 weeks, all of them, and this is because there's a water drought, all of them are having trouble keeping their courses up in tip-top shape.
I think you're thinking more like you were complaining about not being able to rip drivers.
No, I mean, honestly, both. Like, courses that are that tight, I just think are dumb. I just think, like, honestly, it's one thing. Like, yes, I can pull out an iron and play the course, but that to me is just not challenging. And even though it is sort of a challenging layout, kind of because there's a lot of dog legs, like the fact that I could reach a bend with a 5-iron is just kind of stupid.
I think it's, for me, like, I think it was a nice change of pace.
Mm.
It also is just hard, though, dude.
I like
course-
that. I
like
like
hard?
challenging courses. And I think I got to use my, like, for example, like, I don't rarely get to use my 3-wood. I got to use my 3-wood for like 7 out of the 9 holes we played that day. So it's like, it's giving me an opportunity to work on clubs I don't normally have an opportunity to work on, because a lot of courses that we play are just like straight down the middle 400-yard par fours.
That definitely wouldn't be the thing I would determine the course being good or bad. I would just say it is what it is. And if you want a longer game, if like I typically like a full hole. But that being said, I do think that I can't play hard courses. When the fairway is like dried up, it's just like.
When you say hard, do you mean dry or hard as in difficulty?
No, fuck. I keep saying that's what I was saying before. No, I meant physically hard. Like I meant like the ground is solid and dry.
I was lost there for a second.
To put it in perspective, we all teed up on 18. It's a downhill. You've played there, I think, once before.
Yeah, once.
It's a downhill, rolling hill, par 4. We all hit our drivers out there. We all hit great shots, actually. But we were all, like, it's a 385 or 400-yard par 4. We were all 5 or 10 yards off the green.
Yes, exactly.
There's no way I'm hitting a 380-yard drive naturally. So, like.
Well, speak for yourself. So.
All right, Nick. What? Fuck off. No, but like it was that dried out where like Josh hit like not a worm burner, but he hit a very low drive, and it probably landed like 50 yards short of where mine did.
Rough too,
and it was right next to my ball.
There was no rough. It was just burnt grass.
It was taller grass, but I have actually a pretty funny story.
Shoot,
it's actually heavy. It's not just funny. So I was out on Kirkbride. This is when I had junior membership, and I would just take anybody who'd want to go with me, and at the time my uncle wanted to go with me, so I said, I took him out a couple of times too, and I just wanted to go out and have some fun around. So I was, it was actually it was on the second hole.
Mm-hmm.
Second hole,
Downhill.
Yeah, the downhill, and I hit my ball, and we both hit our ball, and I'm like in the woods down below. And so I go look, and he's on the top of the hill. And he yells out to me, "You see my ball over there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." He says, "All right, well, I don't need to play from there. I'll just play from up here, whatever. Like, just throw." He basically said, or he's something along those lines, like, "Throw me my ball back," because he lost his ball. So he's going to just throw it in the fairway or whatever. And I go, yeah, no problem. So I'm like, I pick up this ball, and I fucking throw it up to him, but I didn't lob it. So, like, I didn't, like, underhand it because he was pretty far away. And he lost track of the ball in the air, and it fucking hit him straight in the face. And when it hit him in the face, it blew his nose up. As in, like, I think he broke a bone in his nose, and, like,
bleeding,
he broke his nose.
And all that.
Yeah, he was bleeding, and he, like, had, like, the black eye thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, now he can't, like, breathe right out of the nose or whatever. And he actually finished the round out, and it was, like, one of the worst I've ever felt for anybody, because I just like did this thing that was so not meaningfully harmful, and it just ended up being fucking like ruined everything.
Josh Macari, noted golf ball assailant.
And to this day, Josh like won't throw golf balls like at people, at people because of that too. It's just kind of funny.
I mean, dude,
such an avoidable thing. I mean, like, I get it. You were down. I know where you were, so like you had to throw it up. But, like, there's nothing you can do about that.
I almost don't even know if I was trying to throw it at him. I think I was trying to land it short of him. And
bounce it up.
And it just kind of caught a little bit. Like, I just threw it a little too hard, went high. And he couldn't see it. He could see it, but he kind of like, oh.
It's hard to throw a golf ball, because I've tried to do this thing on a par 3 before where I tried to beat a friend by just throwing the ball. And you don't realize, like, when you throw, like, a baseball or a football, it's big enough that it fits in your hand that you can throw it farther. But a golf ball kind of gets caught up in your hand in a weird way. I did not beat my friend when I tried throwing it. And then I actually one time played myself. So, like, I threw it, and I also hit one. I beat myself hitting the ball instead of throwing the ball.
You played yourself.
I played myself. I beat me. I have a golf story. It's not necessarily from a course, though. And I won't say my cousin's name, but I have a cousin. He's one of the smartest in the family. He's a genius, but he does make some questionable decisions. So he was a little kid, not a little kid. He was old enough to know that this was not what you're supposed to do. He's with his friend in the top of his driveway. He lives in a neighborhood, and they were throwing up golf balls and hitting them with baseball bats into the neighborhood. Not sure why they were doing this. Makes no sense at all. And they would have gotten away with it too. They're just hitting into the neighborhood. they decide to post on Facebook with pictures of them in the driveway saying, "What a great day we had! Like we were hitting golf balls into the neighborhood." And some guy from the neighborhood got his garage door broken because a golf ball came in and fucking nailed it. So fucking, he's the guy's on Facebook like looking at like the neighborhood group and stuff, and he sees my cousin's post on Facebook about them saying, "We hit golf balls into the neighborhood today. What a great day."
Like,
Self-incriminating.
doing it in the first place isn't great, but literally saying, "Hey, we did it. Come get us."
So here's what happens is his dad, my uncle, never knew about it. So they're practicing baseball in their backyard. Like they had like a batting cage, and there's a doorbell ring. So when my cousin goes inside with his baseball helmet on, and there's two cops standing at the doorway. Like, are you so-and-so? And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is this your post on Facebook?" He's like, "Yeah." And then the whole jig was up. My cousin had to walk the cops into the backyard and tell my uncle and his dad that, me and my buddy messed up. We were hitting golf balls in the neighborhood. Long story short, he had to go to the guy's house, and he didn't get arrested, but he had to go apologize to him and pay for any damages on the garage.
Oh my God! At least he didn't get like arrested or anything.
Yeah, no, he was too young. He was like in middle school or something. But it's just one of those stories that was so avoidable and stupid.
Hey, all
but
you
fun.
neighbors! We did this awesome thing in the neighborhood today. We hit golf balls at all your shit.
You're welcome for making the community better.
Yeah. I know you mentioned something. One of you mentioned something about wanting your car fucking
Destroyed.
windshield broken by a golf ball, or hey, want a dent in your car thing. We did it.
And if you saw where they lived on top of this hill. So like the neighborhood was like below them, and so like I can't even describe how idiotic it was, but it's a very funny story, and the whole family rips them apart to this day over it. So it's pretty
As
funny.
they should.
And I think that is gonna take us in to Nicky Shanks's biggest fear, the stand-up session.
He's sweating over there.
I have prepared something. I won't reveal what I have prepared yet, but I think we just get this out of the way now. Nicky Shanks, why don't you just get started?
Really? Me?
I think it'll be best. No expectations. No
yeah.
nothing.
Bar low.
As long
Fuck you.
yeah, as long as it's not from the if you give me
It's
a
not from
website-
Wikipedia.
Yeah, if you give me a Wikipedia joke
All
right
right.
now, if you have to read a joke line for line, I'm kicking you out of the room. Okay, good.
It's from the dome piece.
All right.
All right.
Laptop is closed.
So, back in the younger Nicky Shanks days, preschool, middle school. I actually have a two-part story here. These are both from preschool. I talked to my mom a little bit about my childhood to get some funny stories. And, I'm sure everybody had it. We had those, number books and, the letter books where you practice, filling in the lines and everything. So we do that right before nap time. And I was a very smart young man, as I still am today. Smart, nimble, handsome, good at golf. But anyways, and we had to do the letter Q, which was my sworn enemy as a child, because I could just not get through my head that it's not a G, and I would just make G's instead of Q's, and I would always get bad marks. So you know what I said? I'd been not feeling good the last week, and I was like, I still don't feel good. I really don't want to do this Q. So I just looked around the room, and I just threw up on the book. So then there was nothing else that they could do but just throw it in the trash, and I still to this day struggle with my Q's because I didn't get enough practice as a child.
All right.
And
That
no
was
one-
pretty
yeah,
good.
that's
That was
pretty
good.
good.
No, that was
Thanks.
There were some laughs in between, and that was good.
I have a question for you though. Are you dyslexic?
No, I
Like
just
a
don't like the
serious
letter
question.
Q.
Because that's what happens with people. Like they draw letters the wrong way.
No, but so how it was, ABC, yeah, we did G first. So in my brain, I'm I mastered the G. Let's just keep doing it.
All right, I don't.
But
hate
I didn't
it. I don't
switch
hate that
it.
mindset.
Yeah, but that's
Good job. Hey,
I have another one, but I don't think it's worth.
No,
the-
no,
No,
go,
no,
go,
yeah.
go.
I might
say.
I did okay. I want to kind of just end it on that.
No,
note.
go ahead. You're up.
Okay. So back to my kindergarten days once again, little Nicky running around. You know how I do. And we we did this thing all the time where we would all be, we'd have to come up with our own answers, right? Like sometimes in kindergarten, like they give Andrew's loving this. He's already laughing.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I have.
All right, you keep going.
So like they want us to come up with our own things, and they're like, all right, we've been learning a lot about health and nutrition. So what do we think are the best things that can help us grow old and ensure that we get old healthy? Susie May in the corner, she's like, drink your milk. The other kid's like, take your vitamins, stretch, like sleep well. And my dumbass raises my hand, and I'm like, have a lot of birthdays. And I got my sticker, and I took my nap, and everyone else did their cues, and I kept sleeping.
Shanks, big birthday guy.
Everybody else did their cues, and I kept sleeping. That was good.
It's good, Shanks.
Good.
See how but I took Josh's advice, and I read about jokes, and I made sure that I circled back to the cue joke in the second joke.
Right. The contrast is so, there you go.
God, that was great, man.
No, that was good. That was good.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
now.
See, like, that's
Thanks,
like,
guys.
you didn't get booed off stage. I mean, that's like, at
Cambio's
least.
not here to laugh me out of the room either. So
That was pretty good.
I got a story. I'm not really sure if it's got a punchline or anything, but I just think it's a funny
just
story.
say you have a Colucci then.
It's a story. I mean, in my eyes, it's funny, but so I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be referencing my iPad a little bit because
That's
I just
fine.
want to make sure that I have the timeline.
No,
right.
that's okay. As long as it's not taken from a different comedian.
No, this is an actual story from my life.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's
Life
good.
story. My whole life story. I'm gonna read it out. Starting now. Okay, now. So in September 2020, myself, my father, and a few other friends, we got the opportunity to go see a drive-in concert in West Yarmouth out on the Cape.
Mm-hmm.
And this was obviously, mind you, this is during COVID. So like any live event or concert is like hard to come by. So this was like a really big moment in time where like we could finally get outside and do something. So long story short, like I said, West Yarmouth Drive-In, they completely converted all their grounds to accommodate socially distanced concerts. So essentially you buy one collective ticket, and you don't have to buy individual tickets. You just buy one ticket and then you buy the space and then you split it with people. So you get a 10 by 10 space, you park your car, you can set up chairs, whatever you want to do. So about 30 minutes prior to the show, we all packed in my car. We were staying at a motel right down the road. And as we're sitting in line to get in, a friend of ours who couldn't make the show, shout out Lefty, you're a king for this, sent us his ticket to use instead of ours because we were way in the back. But this one we knew was better. Upon entry, we quickly come to find out that we are now in the first row right in front of the stage. And I have a picture just so that you can kind of like digest this a little bit. But this is how close we were to the stage.
Wow.
So we were right there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. First,
Insert
we had
picture.
better. So to put it in perspective, we had better seats than the parents. The parents of the band members were actually in the row behind us. So I don't know how my buddy got these tickets, but either way, it was awesome. So it's for the band Goose. I think I've talked about them before. They're a jam band. And so they come on, they're crushing it. We're jamming, they're jamming, everyone's dancing, having a good time. Now, here comes the story where I put myself on blast, not only in front of thousands of people at the show, but the thousands of people watching it on the live stream. I called myself out. So let me just paint a quick little picture. Goose is a jam band. They take 4 to 5 minute studio songs and they break them down into 15, 20-minute songs during their live shows. No live show is the same. And so halfway through the show, during what I would describe as like an intermission type part of a song where it's quiet, they're just kind of playing like instrumental stuff, they're not singing, my car alarm starts going off.
Oh, no.
Remind you, I'm 15 to 20 feet from the fucking stage. Immediate panic ensues. I have never been more embarrassed in my entire life. So 15 to 30 seconds has now passed, and I still can't find my keys to shut the alarm off.
Oh, my God.
It's funny because I never really wanted to relive this part. So the band almost stops playing now that we're like 30
Oh, my
seconds in.
God.
And the car alarm is still going. It's screaming. It's loud. Like, it's really fucking loud. So I finally find the keys. They're in a jacket that I wasn't wearing that was hung on the back of a chair. So first of all, no one has solved the mystery on how this car alarm started going off. But either way, I got it off. And this went on for about a minute or so. So the band played throughout this. It was kind of funny because the crowd erupted in cheering and applause and stuff that I finally got my car alarm to shut off. And let me remind you, there are thousands and thousands of people watching this on a live stream. So, but here's the real punch in the gut. Since every show is different, at the end of the show, the band manager, he will put up the set list on this page on Facebook called El Goose. It's got 20,000-30,000 members on it. And they just want to let people know the renditions of the song they played. And lo and behold, my car alarm made it onto the set list.
Oh my God. He just put like car alarm?
Yeah. And made it into coach's notes. My car alarm made it on there. And so I have several friends that were on this Facebook page. I for 2 years, I have completely avoided the scenario. I did not want to let myself know, and I did not want to make my name public. And I went on the group today and I found the post, and I was just so relieved to see that all the people in attendance and all the people that watched on the live stream, it was all a positive reaction to the car alarm going off.
Wow.
Not even the band was mad at me.
Really?
Wow. Thank God.
That was pretty wild. That was a great story.
I'm actually happy for you.
So
though,
wait,
that
did everybody there visibly see you and know it was you in the concert, or did it take place after the fact?
I mean, the people that were the band and everyone in my vicinity obviously knew it was us in our car, but the people way, way back in this venue, like, obviously didn't know who it was. But if you watch the live stream, you can see the car alarm going off. You can see us in the live stream too, and like full immediate panic.
But so like what'd you like kind of like?
I just shut it off and like sat down, and like obviously applause and cheers ensued the entire venue. But I just screenshotted this post, and this was on the Facebook group El Goose. So this got a bunch of likes and comments and stuff, but it was, "To the dingus who hit the alarm on accident during hot tea at Yarmouth, you're a noob."
That's why noob was a big word back then.
So
Yeah.
that's my story. I've honestly never shared that with anyone because it's so personally embarrassing, but I think I can move on from it now.
Wow.
This is almost closure for me. So.
That is awesome.
Thank you for
That's funny.
sharing.
That
You're
was a
welcome.
good story.
Josh, I think you should go because mine kind of segues into our final segment.
Are you sure?
Oh, it's about me. Son of a... Oh, wow. Never mind. I know exactly what it is.
No, you don't.
Oh, shit.
All right. I'm keeping my all right. So this is kind of like I already win.
I never, Josh, don't take this the wrong way. I never laugh at your jokes. I laugh
You
at
did
you
last
telling
week.
them.
What are you
I edited
talking
the
about?
podcast.
I laugh at like your delivery of the joke, which is part of the joke.
No,
as a whole.
I know, but like you laughed at the punchline.
Yes, but your delivery is just the funniest shit, man.
Good.
Why don't we go into it?
That's literally half of what it is to make a joke. What are you doing? You
No, I'm just
sorcery
stretching.
up there?
Why do we go into it?
Putting a hex on me.
What the fuck was
I'm not gonna lie, my bracelets got stuck in my hand. I was trying to get them.
Clucci, for anybody listening, Clucci was just holding his hand behind his head up in the air,
Twinkling his
fucking
fingers.
twiddling
Some
his
fucking
fingers.
witchcraft shit.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is kind of a friendly thing. I mean, it's not really like a hardcore, you know. The joke doesn't have a whole lot of boundaries here. It's more of like a funny thing, I guess. Is like, you ever notice the way people spend money, and like it's kind of a funny thing sometimes. I don't know. So like when you think about it, you know, you ever ask somebody, "Hey, like, you want to go do this?" And they're like, "Oh, I can't put money towards that kind of thing."
Yeah.
And like, there are obviously some people that have living that are good with their money and whatnot. But then there's some people who are just fucking idiots. And my number one example is like, or one of them anyways, when I was in high school, Colucci used to work at a restaurant. And, you know, like, I wanted Colucci, we as friends in high school, it's all about fucking hanging out and, you know, smoking weed. So I wanted Colucci to come out for whatever reasons. And, you know, we would want to do little things here and there. And I don't know that he would always bring up funds, but he would kind of, to bow out of things, he would say, "Oh, I don't have the money for it. I don't want to spend the money on that." And then he would come tell us, I mean, not actively. I mean, it's just like once in a while.
I
think
was fucking money bags in high school, but
You
you are
did.
right. I didn't always like to spend
well,
it.
when he you know, more like allocation of resources was not, he didn't
Yeah.
appreciate, you know. But then you hear from him, and it's like, I get that there's some things you don't want to do, but then you'd hear from him, and he'd like come after work from one night, and you'd go, and he'd be like, you'd ask him at a party, "Oh, you want some food? You want some food, drink, whatever?" Like, and he'd look back and he'd go, "No, I'm good. I just ate." And he's like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, you got shit. What'd you eat?" And he's like, and he'd look back at you and he'd go, I just fucking finish a shift, and you kind of ask him, like, what'd you make? Like, how was the night? Did you make a lot of money in tips? And you just look back and you go, yeah, dude, I did fucking great. I made probably like $100, and oh, cool. You want to eat something now or whatever? And he's like, nah, I just bought a fucking $80 filet mignon from the fucking chef. So he would make he'd make 100, and he would spend 60, and he did this on a regular basis. And he, the potatoes, the whole thing, and this is with the discount. So. And then,
No discount.
Oh, that's right. He didn't even get
discount on steaks.
So he chose the one food at the restaurant that he couldn't get a discount.
Yep.
But he was unable to attend X event because he didn't value So I don't know. It's kind of funny, but when I bring it into another situation years ago, you ever have those when you're younger, like you ask your parents for $20 to go to the mall or whatever?
Yeah.
I had this one instance where I came to a realization, I don't know when it was, but all those years when like once a week or once every couple weeks, honestly, you and your friends would go to the mall and you'd ask your parents for $20. And my fucking father would sit there and hold the money in his hand like, oh, you know what I mean? Like to the point where you have to like rip the $20 bill out of his hand kind of thing. And like recently I had this come to moment where I was like sitting in my house and I was like in my living room. My parents have been doing work to my house. And I like look over at my father and he like looks at me and he goes, yeah, you see that thing right next to you? Like, what do you think about it? I look over, it's like an all glass corner table. And this thing must weigh like 100 pounds. It's like solid, whatever. And he looks over and he's like, yeah, you like it? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's okay. And like it's a fucking corner table. And he looks back and goes, huh, wish you had a little better reaction because that corner table cost me fucking $1,500. And I was like, I literally looked at him and I was like, all those fucking years that you wouldn't give me the $20
Those
bill.
trips to the mall. Imagine how many 20s that is.
Yeah, dude. I was like, you'll spend $1,500 on a corner table, but you won't fucking give me $20 goddamn dollars to go to the fucking mall with my friends. And that was just the coincidence I found, but
no, but I remember you always used to have to fight for the 20 to get it to go to the mall, and $20 at the mall used to last us 3 hours.
Yeah, dude,
the whole day, yeah.
Dude, it was epic, and now it's fucking 2 seconds into my mall trip, I'm $20 in the hole.
So,
and that brings this to me.
Not my best. Not my best.
This is gonna be about me,
my best.
and I already know it's gonna be about me.
I didn't have it's kind of more coincidentally funny, but I
like it.
I'll work on it.
It's like nostalgia.
Yeah, I'll get a better joke.
So this brings us to me.
Maybe fucking let the smoke out of your lungs before you try to talk about it.
Crippling nicotine addiction. I'm sorry. I'm going to put that on my health benefits.
So, pretty good. There you go.
Your joke.
So are you guys familiar with what a haiku poem is?
Yeah, it's like so many syllables and lines.
A haiku poem is a 3-line poem. It goes 5 syllables, then 7 syllables, and then 5 syllables. So 5, 7, 5. So I have written a series of haiku poems that I spent a good amount of time doing. And they all
I like this.
They all have a common theme. I wonder if we'll all be able to catch the theme of these.
Oh, I know. Okay.
I'm just gonna keep going. So just don't no talking in between them. I'm just gonna keep going.
Can we snap?
He was so afraid of doing of messing up again. He just went fucking balls to the wall. He wrote 20 haiku poems.
All right, here we go. Nicky the intern, the best stand-up on the pod. Just kidding, he bombs. Nicky the intern, the king of internet jokes, but can't deliver.
Wow.
Nicky the intern, best golfer in the office, though he sucks at darts. Nicky the intern, he has never seen a movie. He just stares at walls. Nicky the intern has a Lulu addiction. No wonder he's broke.
Hey.
Nicky the intern chefs up the hash browns daily. The air fryer king.
Yep.
Nicky the intern made promises of suit and tie and has now come through. Nicky the intern, more than just a coworker, now he's a friend.
Hey.
Hey.
Goodbye, Nicky Shanks. Your time has come to an end. What a great summer.
Wow.
The Nicky Shanks stand up.
He's going to make me cry.
Wow, that
Wow,
was really
Colucci.
good. That's a win for me. I got some
Colucci,
laughs. That was
man.
emotional.
That was emotional.
That was very kind. I mean, dude, I think people are way too hard on the fact that Nick is like gone forever. He lives 5 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
Like,
I can walk
I'm
to
gonna be
Nicky
here.
Shanks' house.
And I've made a copy of all the keys around the office.
Nick,
so.
you can come back and be on the pod any week you want. And honestly,
Thanks.
Nick might still be doing some stuff for us from afar. So
Right.
while he's in the golf season, he'll be a little bit more distant. But maybe after that, we'll see how his graduation and all that goes, and whether or not he wants to try to saddle up and be a true OMADA team member. But in the meantime, he's got a lot of work to do on that golf course. Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And in all seriousness, we do give Nick a lot of shit on the podcast, but he did have a great summer, put in a lot of work, learned a lot of things. It's sad to see him go. Nick, thoughts on the summer?
I just kind of want to say thanks to you guys. Like, it's been a lot of fun. Made, like, 3 friends, but, like...
What about 4, eh?
Well, on the podcast. And
Poor
Angus, of
Angus.
Angus
course.
is
We
ignoring
spent a
us
great
right
week
now.
together. Me and Angus spent three hours in a car together on the way home, and we got to know each other a little bit better because, we just had that
You
time
guys
to
didn't
talk.
say a word to each other, did you?
Yeah, you're right. I just blasted the music. We didn't know. We did talk. We talked the whole way home, but no, like it's been great. I mean, like I say this to Josh all the time. Like I'm sure other kids are sitting in a cubicle right now trying to bang their head off the wall. And I never felt that around here, and I always had fun. And
Nah, you went to a 5-star fucking golf resort for free
exactly
during the week. That was
Exactly.
your work week.
During
that
the work
was my
week.
work week. But no, I learned a ton, and
I mean,
I understand the door's always open. And
Nick
that's
is the
cool.
fucking man. Anybody
Appreciate that.
who saw a lot of our social media, Nick was contributing heavily to that. I mean, also Will has done amazing with that while we're giving accolades out. But he's got a lot of followers for us. He's done a lot of the work that is difficult to do, and he's been successful. And also, I think the number one thing that we've learned here over just a short period of time of a year and a half, 2 years, and me for 2.5 years, people who are toxic, both in energy and in action, right? They can destroy a team, or, they can really separate people and the productivity that goes on. And it's very rare that you get somebody who genuinely is a very positive, energetic, and happy person. And I think that, coming here with just a few people to only having 5 people in-house, we count on each other to keep each other up. Even because there's always going to be the ebbs and flows of downs and lows and highs, right? But I've met very few people that have come into a business and been so loved as Nicky Shanks, and that's including my father. That's including team members beyond our team and in our team, and distant team members who aren't full time. So this truly, he did a great fucking job, and as a team, we appreciate you making the pull to come here, Nick, and help us out.
Thanks for having me. This is man, I don't want this podcast to end now. I'm really enjoying this
This is
part
sad.
of it.
I'm going to have
it
to
is.
come in on Monday and have no one sitting across me with a big dumb smile on their face.
I-
I'm going to have no one asking me 1 or 2 every morning at 10
1 or 2
o'clock.
hash browns.
I got to go back to making my own fucking hash browns.
Yeah. And for those of you who obviously can't see the desk set up, me and Will sit directly across from each other. We get to look at each other's face. And I even went to the extreme to put a monitor that I don't use right in front of Will's face.
I'm
So I
tough
can
to
only
I'm
hear
tough to
him.
look at. What can you say?
No, but it's been a really great summer, guys. So
That's mad funny, honestly. When you said 1 or 2, I thought you meant piss or shit.
no. Every morning I come in and I have a hash brown religiously. 2.
Yeah, the hash-
I usually have 2.
1 or 2, usually 2.
It was in the
Usually
haiku.
2. Yeah, I do. And I ask Will every
It's in the
morning.
haiku, I do.
Whoa.
Peter Pooh.
That's not
No,
haiku.
but
That's not
every
haiku.
morning
It's not
I
haiku.
say to Will 1 or 2, and he just knows 1 or 2 hash browns, and it depends on if he eats his breakfast burrito or not, and there's sausage on the ground. So
I am a messy eater. It's okay.
that's okay.
That's going to wrap up T-Box Talk episode 18, the Nicky Shanks send-off. Thank you so much for listening. Follow along on all social medias. Please rate, review, tell your friends, tell your family. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Nicky Shanks, for a great summer.
Yeah.
And everybody, have a wonderful weekend.
Peace.
Peace out.
Colucci almost made me cry in the pod.